named Sarah Orne Jewett, a woman who probably would be better recognized these days if it hadn't been for the new critics in the 30s-ish who kind of decided they would define literature and mostly defined it as being written by dead white men. But that's a whole other story, and it's all T.S. Eliot's fault. takes much,